This video out of Florida is nuts. It all went down at this hospital in Miami. A rescue team wheels this shirtless guy on a stretcher into the hospital. Handcuffed to the stretcher, he starts shouting at the rescue team, and at one point appears to spit in the direction of a fireman. Big mistake. That fireman stops what he's doing, walks over to the guy, and starts punching him in the head repeatedly. Other medics have to pull the firefighter away as he pummels the guy until he's finally wheeled off as the fireman's restrained. This all went down back in October, but we're just seeing the footage now. Police say the guy on the stretcher had been arrested earlier in that day on an unspecified charge and asked to be brought to the hospital after using cocaine and heroin. The fireman who pummeled the guy was fired by the fire department and now faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault. He's due in court in January, and the fire department is carrying out an investigation of what went down.
Welcome to CSL TV now. We about to get into this crazy confession of this fucking weird ass guy. He basically talked about the crazy, gruesome way that he murdered his mother. Now, I know for some of y'all this might be too much to listen to, so you must, you know what I'm saying, view this shit at your own discretion, because after you get past me, we're going straight to the video. But if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like and comment. I use that feedback to bring you guys content, and it's just a review, a reaction, as well as an information channel. Hope you're having a beautiful, blessed day. Let's get it.
What did you tell me here with Amber living there?
At least 20, and I kind of formed my hands into her brains to kind of just...
And then what did you do after that?
Then I had her corpse. Oh yeah, I lost 2 corpses.
How do you feel?
Truthfully, I would kill it.
Start at the beginning, man. What caused all this?
I asked my mother for permission to die, or rather kind of commit. I'm bored with life. I don't like life. I don't like people. I don't like living it, basically. There's really anything depressing about it. It just is what it is. And so I wrote the note.
And then what happened?
And then on a whim, actually, I turned it over, wrote a plan to kill both my mother and my sister, quite frankly. That's always been a thing of mine. I'm a bit of a pervert.
Is it like a fantasy thing?
It is, actually.
So y'all hear how this guy was talking when he first came on about what he did and how he did it and all this and that shit, sick shit. And this is where this pervert is mentally ill, fucked up, all that stuff wrapped into one. Talking how you talking, man, I can't believe that you're saying that. And yeah, I hope they give this guy the motherfucking death sentence, because he want to die anyway. So he do not need to be mixed with a population of people where he might possibly kill until he gets what he wants, and that's to die. So why not make it a lot easier and get someone who think like this, act like this, motherfucker, and even wrote a note fantasizing of shit like this with other people.
Actually. So, that didn't act. Best laid plans never work out, apparently. Or at least the one scribbled on a piece of paper. And so I kind of let off in a fury and just did it right then and there.
Okay. You did what?
Well, first, I tried to strangle her, and that didn't work. She grabbed the cord, so I raced back into her room, grabbed the hammer, came back out, and then did it.
Okay. How many times did you with Amber living there?
At least 20. But then she was still alive. I dragged her into the room, as you probably clearly saw, and I kind of formed my hands into her brains to kind of just cut it. She was still snoring.
Okay. She was still alive?
She was still alive.
And you went in there and you kind of grabbed those brains?
Yeah, I just finished it.
Alright.
Kicked at it a bit. Then I just, that was kind of silly, but then yeah, I just decided to reach in and kind of just do it.
And then what did you do after that?
Then I had her corpse.
Did you cut her?
I did, actually.
Have you ever done that before, like that?
No, I haven't, actually.
This is just the first time?
Oh yeah, I lost 2 corpses.
How about your sister? What's your sister's name?
Desiree Hill.
Is she okay?
She is okay, yeah.
Okay. Was it a fantasy of yours to kill her as well?
It
and
was.
Did you write down that on your note?
Oh, I did, actually, but I decided against it because, well, I'd had my fill killing, a little too excessive, yeah.
And there was some blood in the knife, but you said you never used it. I guess just blood, just from where you grabbed it or on the...
Oh, that knife. Actually, I used that to stir her brains up a little, but then that didn't really work out, so I just kind of decided to delve on it.
Do you consider you mentally disturbed? Do you consider yourself crazy? Or do you consider yourself any of those? Or you think you're okay? You just got some bad thoughts?
I'm not mentally disturbed.
Cap, he mentally disturbed and all that shit in one.
Disturbed. I mean, I'm sane. I know exactly what I did. I know that it's wrong in the traditional sense of wrong.
Hello.
It was just a fantasy you had, and you had to carry it out.
Yeah.
Not yet.
You still feel like you want to keep on killing? To keep on, with other fantasies? How do you feel?
Truthfully,
Yes, definitely.
I would kill again.
How about us? You think you want to kill us?
Oh, no. Rather, men aren't my thing, actually.
Oh, your fancy killing would be your ace killing. What would that be?
This is a little peculiar. I'm on camera. Okay, maybe dressing up, a nice suit, sneaking into her house, disabling her boyfriend. Yeah, I'd bring a pretty dress with me to dress her up in.
Yeah, he's sane, but that motherfucker's also mentally fucked up for saying that. How you gonna say you don't want to kill guys, but then the detective, whoever this guy is, tell you to motherfucking goddamn go in, lay out a scenario of what you want to do, and the first thing you say, you will break in a house, kill her boyfriend, start being on this weird ass shit. You just said you want to kill a dude. Now you want to kill a dude. First he said he fulfilled his killing. Now he's saying, yeah, I would actually kill again. Actually, I would actually kill again and this and that shit. Blah, blah, blah. Sounding like a crazy little bitch. Yeah. I probably would. That's how you sound.
I was always into strangling, but after that last blunder, I guess maybe something big and sharp would be more along my thing. I don't know, probably decapitate her, as I prefer my women dead. I would dress her up, I'd stitch her up, kind of try to work the head back on perhaps, and then I'd go to town and it would be a night to remember.
Kevin Davis, then 18, was given a maximum life sentence in prison after pleading guilty to the murder of Kimber Hill. Davis was also reportedly smiling and waving at witnesses when they were asked to identify him. Despite a doctor diagnosing Davis with a personality disorder, he testified that he was sane and knew the difference between right and wrong. And then you ask yourself, he knew exactly everything he was doing, and yet he still painted a picture and seen a scenario of other ways he would like to carry out other murders as well. I'm surprised they gave this guy the maximum lifetime in prison. For the simple fact, he said he would kill a guy after saying he wouldn't kill a guy. Maybe he didn't kill a guy. Maybe this is why we haven't heard nothing else about this guy. Well, that still doesn't give the fact that he also said what he said. Now that we talked about some crazy people, let's get into the victims of the families and what they had to say on some people. But the situations is the same but different. But let's get into the video.
That you take is not just one life. It is all that is connected to that life.
If you or someone you loved were the victim of a violent crime, what would you say to the person responsible? Today we're looking at 3 heart-wrenching courtroom moments from people who somehow found it in them to forgive.
Thank you, Your Honor, for giving me the opportunity to speak. What happened to me on that day is unacceptable. It shouldn't happen to anybody else. I used to be a carefree person, and now I can't go anywhere by myself.
In 2015, Asma Jama was eating at an Applebee's with her friends when a stranger suddenly swung a glass beer mug into her face. The attacker, a woman named Jody Burchard Riche, was angry that Jama was speaking Swahili. Jama is a Somali immigrant who came to Minnesota from Kenya in 2000, and she speaks fluent English, Swahili, and Somali. The attack left her with deep cuts all over her face that required a total of 17 stitches. For months afterwards, she was too shaken to leave her house. But when Burchard Riche was sentenced to prison for third-degree assault, Jama appeared in court to speak directly to her attacker.
My religion teaches me to forgive so I can move on with my life. If I hold a grudge and I hold the hate you hold towards me against you, it's not gonna serve me well. I do forgive you, and I hope that you choose love over hate. It doesn't matter what's on my head. It doesn't matter the color of my skin. We're all the same human beings. We're fighting for the same rights.
In the end, Jama made a surprising new friend in her attacker's sister, Dawn Saar. After the assault, Dawn cut contact with Jody and reached out to Jama to offer her support. To this day, they remain close friends.
This beautiful soul right here, as we see her son served in the military, walking home with food, going to see his wife, and these guys jumped out, robbed him, killed him, and fucking stole his food. Now think about how fucked up you gotta be to rob somebody, kill them, and then steal their food afterwards. But in courtroom, she displayed that, yes, I'm hurt, all this and that, you taking a life, you affecting other people, but at the same time, maybe this was in God's plan to speak and to come closer to other people and hopefully save their life before it's too late. And if Yat save this young man if he need help and guidance of doing things the right way and uniting with people and helping the world as much as you can or whoever you can.
I want the best for you.
The high-profile killing of Botham Jean sparked nationwide protests and accusations of police misconduct and racial bias. But in his victim impact statement at court, Botham's younger brother Brand didn't talk about any of that. On September 6, 2018, an off-duty patrol officer named Amber Geiger walked into Botham Jean's apartment and shot him. He was 26 years old, unarmed, and sitting in his own living room eating ice cream.
Get up, man. Yeah, 911, this is Carla. Where's your emergency?
I need EMS. I'm an off-duty officer. I thought it was in my apartment, and I shot a guy thinking it was my apartment. I'm gonna lose my job. Hurry, please. Oh my God, I'm done. Me too. Hey bud, they're coming, bud. I'm sorry, man.
After the 911 call, Botham was taken to the hospital, but he passed away soon after. Just over a year later, his teenage brother told Geiger,
"If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ." I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please? Yes.
They embraced for a long time, and it was one of the last hugs Geiger would receive for the next decade. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison for Botham's murder.
Now this is beautiful to see a young person like this saying that he forgive and actually help him become closer to high power to understand life and how things are supposed to be, and you're supposed to be wanting to be better as well as wanting better for others because we're all in this shit together. Now him pleading, begging just to hug this lady who murdered his brother when he was just fucking sitting in his own house, blah, 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 but she, tired from working so much or whatever the occasion may be, going to the wrong apartment, which she done something crazy, and unfortunately someone lost their life. But this young guy, it's just amazing to see people like this, you know what I'm saying?
Murder.
Any life that you take is not just one life. It is all that is connected to that life.
This is Ruki Abdul Mutakalim. In June 2018, her son Suleiman was walking home to have dinner with his wife, but underneath a highway overpass, he was attacked and shot by 3 robbers. Surveillance footage caught one of them, 14-year-old Javon Coulter, taking money from Suleiman's pocket as he lay face down on the pavement. The attackers also stole his bag of fast food before leaving him there to bleed out. Suleiman died in the hospital with his mother at his side. 2 years later in court, she told his killers she wanted to break the cycle of hate.
I cannot hold this bitterness. I will not hold it. I can't hate you. It's not our way. Showing rahmah, mercy, that is our way. And you were a baby, And you are still a child who need help.
Javon pled guilty in court and was sentenced to 20 years in prison, but Ruki offered to visit him often and help him develop the skills he would need to re-enter the world. She also offered her support to Javon's mother.
I just want to help you so that I may be able to save someone else's life, including your own. His death was already ordained. Maybe the purpose is to save your life.
Now that's a beautiful thing for the simple fact this lady attacked her, and instead of her having all this hate, rage, saying all this crazy shit of what 90% of most people would probably say and do, she forgave her. Wished the best for her. Talked about how could you be this way when we all fight for the same shit. Like I said, we all fighting for the same shit. Like she said, we all fighting for the same shit. That's for things to be better. Everybody to be treated equally. And in the long run, she ended up becoming friends with the sister. Now, we seen the picture of them together, and they facial similarities show that just because you're a different complexion, if you need a kidney, my kidney might work for you. You need a lung, etc., etc.
Relapse.